What's up everyone, your friendly neighborhood onesie guy here. Welcome you back for another card review. For those of you watching this a little bit later, I hope you're having a good week so far. And I hope you're getting more and more excited as the more cards you see for this latest expansion. Personally, I cannot wait to see what else that comes from the expansion. Also, what's going to be rotating in from the core set that's going to be able to support this, and obviously what the rest of the year is going to bring, because this is the only set that's coming, or the first set that's come out this year. I don't even want to begin to think about the other sets or even the mini set that's going to come with this. If colossal minions are going to be a thing for the mini set, if we're going to get another one, I don't even want to think about that right now. So before I work myself up, let's just get into today's card review. First off, we have a 3-mana 3/2 Naga for Priest. Handmaiden, Battlecry. If you've cast 3 spells while holding this, draw 3 cards. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Priest has suffered a lot of time with card draw. You have specific tutors where you discover a spell from your deck or draw a minion from your deck. But just straight up card draw, Priest never has really had a lot of that. So this is more, I'd think of a mid-game card just to refill your hand, get some more things going. Pretty solid. The stats, again, you're not playing this card for the stats, you're playing it for the card draw. It's pretty much like multicaster. Whereas this, though, with multicast, you've had to play different spell schools. This, it's just any 3 spells, and you just get to draw 3 cards. So pretty decent card draw. Think it will get some play. What kind of decks, I'm not sure. Again, these days Priest has been again flowing with a lot of spell-based decks with very few minions. Whether they can find a way to fit this in for the additional card draw, I'm not sure. But again, this is a more early to mid-game card draw where you can get that refill. So if you are spending cards pretty quickly from your hand, this is perfect just to get some restock in there. Next up, we have a 1-mana spell for Shaman. Schooling. Add 3 1/1 Piranha Swarmers to your hand. So you've seen what Piranha Swarmers can do. When you play one, whenever you play another one, the Piranha Swarmer gets +1 attack. However, looking back at the previous video we done with Bioluminescence, I think this will definitely fit really well into a spell-based burn shaman deck where you're just hitting face with a lot of spell damage. You play 2 of these, it means you've got 6 piranhas in hand already for 2 mana. The piranhas themselves cost 1 mana each, but I'm sure we can find a way to get those costs reduced, or cheat those out onto board, playing Bioluminescence, then just dishing out a hell of a lot of damage face and probably ending the game that way. We've already seen that Shaman has a 1-mana spell that does 2 damage, and it's still got Dredge on it. So if we're looking at best case scenario, that is a 1-mana spell that would end up dealing 9 damage with no problem of overload. You've then got a lot of other cheap spells like Lightning Bolt that can go face. There's so much that you can actually do, and if you can somehow, if you've already got minions on board and you play these extra ones, or you somehow can cheat them out, which we may find ways later on to cheat out those cards, you can end up doing a crap ton of face damage for a relatively low mana cost. We'll see what else comes out, but I can definitely see this having its place. Again, like I said, you're not going to be really using the piranhas for their damage factor. You're going to be using it there to play in combo with something like Bioluminescence and getting that spell damage up, so you can just dish out as much spell damage as possible in a single turn. Okay, then we come to a 7-mana 5/9 neutral Naga, Slithering Death Scale. Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Pretty cool effect. 3 damage to all minions and face. However, looking at the cost of this, I don't see this seeing much play. Unless you can reduce the cost of, if you've played something that reduced the cost of spells or reduce the cost of naga specifically, like the next naga you play or something like that, I don't see this getting much play in a lot of things, just because if it's very high cost, the 7 mana cost, I don't see it getting a lot of play. We have some other cards that do similar things for a much lower cost. Again, if you've got more spell damage for some reason, or the next battle cry triggers twice, this may be pretty good. However, I don't see currently a place where this would fit into any kind of deck, just because of its high cost. And these days, everything is a lot quicker. We don't see those control matchups, those longer matchups very often. Again, that could change with the rotation, but right now I don't see this fitting into any current archetypes. Then we have a 4 mana 4/4 Naga 4 Hunter, twin bow, terror coil, battle cry. If you've cast a spell while holding this, your next spell costs twice. Pretty much, again, this looks like we could see a few naga falling into either the quest hunter or just a straight up spell face hunter deck, dealing a lot of damage. Because if you've already got our big boy Nudge on board, or if you play it this turn and you play this and your next costs twice, so it says costs twice, not just does double damage. So I suspect in conjunction with something like Raj or even your quest, it might proc 2 things for your quest because you're still casting it. I would just have to check the hunter quest. It just says deal damage with spells, so I don't know if the cost twice triggers twice on that. I'll have to check that into action once we have all the cards available. But if that does work, this is a pretty powerful card for the quest hunter build and a possible spell face hunter, which seems more and more likely that someone will find a way to build that, and it will be pretty powerful. And then last up for this session, we have Priestess Valishj. Valishj. A 0 mana naga for priest. Base stats are not great, but this battle cry: refresh an empty mana crystal for each spell you've cast this turn. As always, priests are very notorious for spell reduction, reducing the cost of spells in your hand, spells you draw, spells you discover, and you can just probably play a ton of spells again, finish all your mana, play this, have played maybe 5, 6, 7, even up to another 10 spells, refresh all your mana crystals, and then do it all over again. You might even find a way to copy this from your board back into your hand, and then you might even be able to do that twice in a single turn, possibly giving Priest and OTK potential with this card. Definitely can see it being possible, and it being very, very powerful. This is probably one of the cards to look out for over the upcoming months, and possibly throughout the year even, when we get some more stuff coming in. And if Priest goes the same line as it has before with the hand reduction of cost reduction of spells, this could very potentially cause an OTK, or for you to just have such a powerful turn that your opponent just concedes because there's no way they can win. So a card I'm definitely going to keep my eye on, and I think everyone else should too, because this has entire, not just board swing, but game swing potential in a single turn. So yeah, a shorter wrap for today on the cards, but we are seeing some really good synergies coming together, some real archetypes that we can see the devs are trying to make happen. But I know the great players out there, not me obviously, but the great players out there will find so many other things to do with these cards that we're going to see entirely new archetypes maybe come into play and shift the meta entirely, which I'm really hoping for. Certain decks have just been in the meta for far too long. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching this video, taking the time out of your day. If you did enjoy this or any of the other past videos I have posted, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. It does help me, does help the channel grow, and makes it possible for this to possibly be a full-time thing for me one day. So I hope you enjoy your morning, your evening, and your afternoon, wherever you're watching from, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye for now.